So for the essay part, I watched the iExam's video on YouTube regarding what are the possible topics of essay. So
Mm.
I prepared all the topics of essay given by iExam in the YouTube videos. I prepared those topics thoroughly, and fortunately, in the exam also there was a particular essay regarding artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So because I had prepared that topic beforehand, so I was comfortably able to attempt that essay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to iExam. I am joined by Mr. Sudhanshu Palav, who has cleared SEBI Grade A 2024 exam from the general stream. Many, many congratulations, Sudhanshu, for becoming a SEBI Grade A officer.
Thank you, ma'am. It's an honor to be with you.
Thank you so much, Sudhanshu, for taking out the time. To give a brief background about Sudhanshu, Sudhanshu completed his bachelor's and master's in economics, and he's had teaching experience in between also. He decided to work with a government organization, and he started his journey from preparation after his bachelor's itself. So let's hear it from Sudhanshu only. Sudhanshu, when and how did you start your preparation journey for government exams?
Okay, ma'am. I had started for my preparation of my preparation regarding this government exam in my graduation years only. So I had fully focused preparation. I started my fully focused preparation during my second year of graduation.
Okay,
So initially, I was fully focused upon UPSC civil service. So I
okay.
prepared for UPSC civil services during my second year and third year.
Mhm.
In 2020, I appeared for UPSC civil services examination, and in the first attempt only, I was able to clear the UPSC prelims.
Very
But
nice.
unfortunately, I couldn't. Okay. Unfortunately, I couldn't clear the UPSC mains. So again, next two attempt also, I appeared for the mains, but I couldn't clear the mains.
Okay.
So I came to realize that certain fundamental mistakes are happening. Because of that, I
Mhm.
am unable to clear the UPSC mains. So I decided to take a break. I then next I appeared for the UGC next. So in a
Okay.
short period of time, because of my UPSC journey and the skills which I had acquired during my UPSC preparation, so that because of that, I successfully cleared UPSC net with JRF in my first attempt.
Very
So
nice. Mm.
because of UPSC, UGC NET and JRF, I got an opportunity of teaching field. So after that, I continued my teaching field till my SEBI attempt. So that was my journey. In between, along with the teaching, I was also appearing for other competitive exams like um UPSC EPFO, UPSC CAPF, and banking, PO, and clerk. So you can shortly say I had appeared for all the many of the government examinations from clerk to collector, all the exams I appeared. So fortunately, I cleared this exam of CB this time. Thank you. This
Okay.
was my short brief. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of exams, but a lot of learning, and definitely it helped
Yeah.
in your SEBI. So if I talk about SEBI, was it only after the notification you decided to take up this exam?
No, actually, I was preparing for the SEBI beforehand also, but
Mhm.
initially from December 2023, I had started with RBI Grade B's preparation. So
Okay.
from December 2023 till April 2024, I was preparing for RBI Grade B. But due to election uncertainty, I thought that this exam might get postponed to the
Mhm.
next year. So that's why I switch on to the SEBI exam. So I full-fledgedly started for SEBI in May 2024. So from May 2024, I started for the SEBI examination.
Okay. So when you were giving, now that you were sure that you want to focus on SEBI this year, how were you devoting your time? Say for phase one, we have two papers, paper one and paper two.
Yeah.
So how were you dividing your time and your preparation between the two papers?
So since the syllabus of phase one and phase two is much overlapping, especially about the paper two part.
Yes.
Paper two part in phase one also and paper two part in phase two also are completely overlapping. So
Yes.
my initial strategy was that to complete the entire syllabus of paper 2 or phase 2 before I appear for the phase 1 itself.
Okay.
So my approach was that to complete all the syllabus before phase one's examination. So that was my plan. In the May, June, and half of the June, I devoted at least 75 days to the paper two itself, so that before appearing for the phase one, I am uh, much confident about the phase two. So this was my basic strategy. So in that part, I used to some during this period I used to approach the CSAT also, quantitative aptitude. But my major focus was regarding the phase two, that two about the paper two.
Paper two.
This
Oh,
was my strategy. Yes.
right. So, when you're focusing, because you said you wanted to finish the syllabus, and there were six subjects. So, which were the subjects which you were comfortable with because of your past knowledge, and which were ones that were absolutely new for you?
Okay. I was completely comfortable with economics since I had my post graduation and UGC net. So I was
Mm-hmm.
completely comfortable with economics. I was little bit comfortable with finance also
Mm-hmm.
because of UPSC preparation. I have learned the shares and debentures, but I was completely unaware about the management, account, cost accounting, and companies act.
Companies
I
that.
was initially, yeah, I was starting from zero itself in all this in these four subjects. So I had to do it thoroughly. That's what my preparation was. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll especially touch upon the accounts and the costing subjects because, as you stated, they were new, and many times, if one does not have a background in these, sometimes they can feel uncomfortable or scared about their preparation. So, how did you manage overcoming those feelings, and what was your approach for these subjects?
Okay. So my first approach was that since I am eligible for this paper, I don't think so. SEBI will set anything which I cannot do. For example, this year also, and I have seen all the PYQs. So
Mm-hmm.
these papers give a level playing field to all the graduates. So
Mm-hmm.
even if you are from engineering background, you are not left behind compared to
Mm-hmm.
the CAs or CMS. So that was my initial thought. So that because of that, I had that confidence that I will, if I prepare them with a strategy, particular strategy, I will clear those topics comfortably. That was my thought.
I think that's a very, very good approach, Sudhanshu, and very logical. So,
Yeah,
just for the benefit of the aspirants who are listening to this, I'll repeat this point, which is very, very relevant. That when we look at a particular syllabus, we have to understand, and there will be fears. I'm not saying there will not be fears. There will be
sure.
fears, but yes, we have to understand that this is for everybody, all those people who are eligible, and if you are eligible, then you are capable of doing it. So
Yeah,
that's a very good point because that really helps mentally set up ourselves to study and prepare for the subject. And second point, I think what Sudhanshu also brought out was also very relevant, having a look at the previous year papers. That gives us
yeah,
an insight about the level, the type of topics, and when you are studying the subjects as per the syllabus given, what all points you can cover and what all topics you can give focus on. So I think that helps to give a structure to your preparation because otherwise, the syllabus, if we just start from word by word, it can feel very daunting and very, very vast to cover. But this approach
yes,
helps to break it down into manageable and achievable goals for yourself. So I think very
yeah.
relevant points. So Dhanshu, because you have studied so much of economics in your graduation and your post graduation, what will you suggest to the people who may have not studied economics, how they can approach economics as a subject for SEBI exam?
Okay, so I will suggest that for the candidates who have not studied the economics in any of the competitive examination. So I will tell them that instead of referring any uh, reference book like H.L. Ahuja is there,
Mm-hmm.
and M.N. Jingan is there, the books are there. These reference books are quite bulky. So instead
Right.
of doing that, I will suggest you to join any institutions or their crash courses, refer to those materials. These materials are more than enough to make your basic understanding regarding economics. And with the basic understanding in the economics, you can comfortably solve all those MCQs, because you have to solve the MCQs only in the
Right.
economics. So you will comfortably solve. Once your concepts are clear regarding economics, you can definitely solve all the any of them. That thing is there. You have to just clear the concept. You don't have to dig too much into deeper. Just clear the concept, stick to the syllabus, and you will comfortably sell through in the economics. That was I will tell. Message.
Okay, that's a to the point approach to the exam. I think
Yeah.
was helpful. Great. We rarely do talk about the paper one in phase two, which is the descriptive English. So, given the fact that you have already been preparing for UPSC, I'm sure you are used to descriptive style of preparation. And this is the only descriptive paper that comes in the SEBI exam. So, how did you prepare for descriptive English? And especially so because this was an exam which is typed based
Typing.
exam and not an
Yes.
handwritten like in
Yes. Yes.
UPSC we have handwritten, so this was a typed exam. So what was
Yeah.
your approach in terms of paper one preparation, and did you also do typing practice before the exam?
Okay. So, since many of the candidates make this mistake of undermining the importance of paper one. So, even though it is just one third of the weightage, but still it is a one third. In such
Yeah.
a tight competition, 1.25 marks matter a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my approach to not neglecting the paper one complete descriptive part completely. So I had dedicated certain time after my phase one's preparation. I started the descriptive papers my preparation. So for that descriptive papers, uh, there are three segments: essay, précis writing, and the reading
Reading
comprehension. So
comprehension.
for the essay part, I watched the iExam's video on YouTube regarding what are the possible topics of essay. So
Mm-hmm.
I prepared all the topics of essay given by iExam in the YouTube videos. I prepared those topics thoroughly, and fortunately, in the exam also, there was a particular essay regarding artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So because I had prepared that topic beforehand, so I was comfortably able to attempt that essay. Then next is a précis writing. So for précis writing, I had watched YouTube videos regarding précis writing. So précis writing is basically a very scientific approach. You don't have to mention facts, figures. So you have to first learn what is précis writing. I learned that from the YouTube videos. Then I practice those précis writings. Then next one is the reading comprehension also. So reading comprehension also I approach the same part. I
Mhm.
first saw the YouTube videos, then I do that. So this was my basic preparation, but the preparation is incomplete without any mock test. So I
Right.
appeared for the 5 mock tests of descriptive part. In 1 hour, I completed all those mock tests. So due to the mock test, I realized the sequence which generally the usually candidates the follow the sequence of essay, précis, and reading comprehension.
Right.
Initially, I also followed that sequence, but what happening was the I was leaving behind. My paper was getting incomplete. So reading comprehension, 1 or 2 questions were left incomplete. So for that, what I did, I changed the sequence. I started with the reading comprehension, then précis, then essay. So because of this sequence, I was able to complete my paper in the given time. Also, it was a good quality answer. So this sequencing part was really important.
Okay.
And also in the this year 2024 examination, the English descriptive part was quite challenging also. So
Yeah.
because of my thorough preparation and exam these essay topics was I initially aware of that. So I was comfortable with the descriptive part. That was my strategy. Of,
That's a good point. And as Sudhanshu had started, it happens. This is a high probability, and we've seen in a lot of students they leave descriptive English for the last for various reasons. The top reasons that I am aware about is one, they see it as one third, and somehow in the mind it goes कम importance है चलो बाद में कर लेंगे. But important फिर भी है, one third is a huge part of your examination. And
Even 0.25 marks
yes,
can get you out of the list or in the list.
yes,
So
people
that's why
lose out. And actually जितना tough दिखता है उतना होता नहीं है. If you practice a little bit and pay a little attention, actually this can help boost up your score
this paper
overall.
this paper is more of this paper is 80% practice and 20% preparation.
Yes.
So the practice matters the most.
Another very good point, Sudhanshu, because that's very true. Because this is also what we've seen. We do offer 5 mock tests with evaluation, personalized evaluation, but many times students don't tend to do that, or they will be doing it, just 2 days or 5 days before the exam, jaldi, and they're not getting the time to actually understand the feedback and incorporate it in their writing style because it doesn't come overnight. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, that writing style will just not go in. So, I think a very good advice to pay the due respect and attention to the paper,
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
the time. And a very good point mentioned that 80% is about practice. You cannot just read and become a good essay writer or a
Oh,
pressy writer.
no,
So you will have to practice. Despite seeing all the rules and regulations, you will actually have to sit down and practice to be able
yes.
to do that. And yes, we do take out time to give personalized feedback on each of the attempts that students do for the descriptive papers. So, uh, great, and a very valid point that you brought out, Sudhanshu. So, once you cleared your phase 2, also the written exams, and now it was the chance to go to the interview, right? So,
Yeah.
what was your approach for the interview preparation?
Okay. So the phase two results came in the October 10th, and my interview was scheduled on the December 5th. So I
Okay.
had almost 2 months
Mhm.
to prepare for the interview. So initially I was a bit skeptical, little bit confused how to start. But over the time, I realized the interview strategy basically your interview preparation comprises of five sections. So first, you have to prepare your profile, your own personal profile.
Mhm.
Second part is the regarding the SEBI.
Mhm.
Third part is regarding the finance part. Fourth part is the current affairs, and fifth part is the mock interviews that which you give. So in all these sections, what I find most important is you prepare your profile part and your SEBI part thoroughly. Regarding profile part, I will give you an example. So for the profile, for example, if I am going from a I'm from a teaching background. So they can ask me any question. So they can ask me why teaching. So why do you want to leave the teaching? When is the teachers day celebrated and why the teachers day is celebrated? What are the challenges that you have faced in your teaching career? So, will you advise teaching field to other candidates? So, preparing these questions thoroughly, also prepare their counter questions also. So,
Right.
for my strategy was simple: prepare my profile thoroughly and prepare the SEBI thoroughly. So, profile in that first I completed on my teaching field. Then second, I was focusing upon my economics background also.
Mhm.
So, in the economics background, I I had seen the Nobel laureates, this year's Nobel laureate.
Mhm.
I studied regarding them, India's economic situation, current economic situation. I prepared those points. So this was my strategy regarding preparing the profile thoroughly. No, don't leave any areas for granted. So that was my strategy because if they ask you regarding a simple question, why economics, and you don't answer that comfortably, it will lower down your morale and the interviewer will not give you good marks even though you have answered the finance and current affairs question really. So you are preparing your profile and regarding SIB. So this was the first section of interview preparation. Section was regarding the SEBI. So regarding the SEBI part, you must prepare the preamble of the SEBI. What are the different departments in the SEBI and their respective role. And then next one is the SEBI Grade A officers.
Okay.
Sometimes we prepare for the SEBI Grade A officer, but we
Mhm.
don't even know the roles and
Right.
responsibilities of SEBI Grade A officer. This is a very simple question. In one of the mock interviews of I exam B, the interviewer asked me, "What is the role of responsibility of SEBI Grade A officer?" And I couldn't attempt that. So that's why when I realized that, so it is a very important point. Then also you have to prepare the circulars also, SEBI circulars and that part. So you can do that. The third part was regarding the finance part.
Mhm.
So finance is such a vast subject. You cannot end the preparation of finance part anywhere.
Right.
So one strategy I adopted that I appeared for a NISM certification regarding Securities Market Foundation.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
appeared for that examination, so they gave you a study material.
Hmm.
So what you can do, you can do that part. You download that study material and prepare all the points mentioned in the study material. For example, they have given the functions of clearing corporation, examples of clearing corporation, stock exchanges, how does stock exchanges work, what is the function of depositories. So prepare this study material very well. It will cover your all finance basics, and you can comfortably answer the finance related questions. Last part is the current affairs. So regarding current affairs, I will say only prepare the major events which are happening after the your phase two results and the interviews day. Major events and focus upon what and why. For example, after September last week, there was a major market correction in our stock market. So
Right.
I had prepared why this market correction is happening and what should SEBI do regarding that. So that was my preparation. And regarding mock interviews, sometimes we often get so much involved in our preparation that we don't appear for the mock interviews only. So I had appeared for three mock interviews. I gave three mock interviews and prepare the regarding the interview feedback thoroughly. So this was my overall strategy of interview preparation. You can also follow that.
So, Sudhanshu, in your replies and answers, I'm seeing a very well-structured manner of approach, and I guess that's how you have approached your entire preparation, which is reflecting right now also. And very well explained each of the four segments that we also suggest about preparation for interview. And last is, of course, the mock. Like you mentioned in the written, also practice is important. So in the interview stage, giving the mock interview is the practice. Uh,
Yeah.
it's like a dry run that you are doing before your actual interview that takes place. So, very good, valid points. And one that I would like to repeat what Sudhanshu mentioned was the key events that one is that has taken place when you are preparing for them, the big current affairs and the events that have taken place. The approach to them is not mugging up the factual information about the event, but very rightly put, the why and what or how, depending on what the event is. The when and the how will, what and the how will depend on that, but definitely the why, right? I think that is a very important point. And the other point worth repeating that I found in Sudhanshu's approach was preparing about your profile, because even a lot of technical questions that come, many a times they come out of your own profile and the answers that you give to a lot of your profile related questions. So that's a very important point. And again, the sequence matters, like Sudhanshu was telling in the descriptive English how the sequence mattered. I think the preparation sequence in terms of the importance that you are giving for the interview is very important. More often than not, I've seen people start with the technical aspect and you can get lost because technical there's no
Yeah.
end to what all you can read up and prepare, right? But and faulting on that is acceptable, but faulting on your profile is something that's not acceptable to the panel, and more than the panel it will not be acceptable to you.
Yeah.
What
Your
Sudhanshu
morale
said, that
gets
it,
down.
yes, it,
Your morale goes down.
yes,
You
that's what
cannot.
we mean by not being acceptable to you, because you yourself will not be able to perform after that, realizing I couldn't answer this. So that's a very, very valid point, Sudhanshu, that you've brought out, and very important to keep in mind. So great. Sudhanshu, any points, any particular mistake you will say a person should avoid while preparing for the exam?
Okay, mistake I will say about regarding this, that uh, referring to the too many sources is the one of the major mistakes which a candidates can make, because referring to the too much mistakes can cost you an
Sources.
attempt. So
Mhm.
one source, one for a one particular topic, stick to that particular source which you are using, and revise that thoroughly. This particular one mistake I must refer. The second mistake I can say, mm, I'm unable to
No
answer.
worries. This
But
is,
this
I
is one
think,
mistake. Don't refer too many sources for a particular topic. That's what.
yeah, that makes sense because you're not really adding anything to your knowledge base, but it's definitely eating into your most expensive resource, which is time, and something you can't get back. So we have to be very, very
Uh,
judicious about it.
one more mistake I want to highlight, that since this is CB exam happens twice, once in a 2 years,
Mhm.
and the vacancies are comparatively low.
Mhm.
Last time it was 84, and this time it was just 62.
62, yeah.
So many of the candidates just get disheartened by looking at the vacancy only. So my suggestion or my advice would be, don't look at the vacancies, just look at the previous year cutoff. So look at the cutoff and see where your preparation stands. If you are coming close to that cutoff, if you are comfortable with that, don't look at the vacancies at all. Just start preparing, and you will get to your goal. That's my advice.
Again, very, very golden words, I will say, because these are things that we look at. They don't make a difference till you make them big enough to make a difference.
Yeah,
So,
it's a very good.
in your head, please don't let these things become so big that they overshadow your capability of and your potential of preparing and clearing these exams. So, as we often repeat, CP Joshi sir often repeats in a lot of his videos when he's talking to students and giving them advice, सीट्स कितनी भी हो आपको तो एक ही चाहिए, तो आप बस
Yeah,
आप उस पे फोकस करिए and prepare accordingly. So,
yeah.
great advice, a very, very enriching conversation with you, Sudhanshu. I'm sure whoever is listening to this will find them useful and will take these tips from you to incorporate in their own preparation strategy. Thank you so
Yeah.
much once again for taking out the time, and wishing
Thank
you
you.
all the best from the entire team of iExamB. May you always have a very enriching and fulfilling and satisfying career ahead.
Thank you so much.